two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, yeah, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
You're tuned in to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO. And this is our WWE edition on Netflix. It's going to be a good one. We were just talking before we started how we are in two polar opposite sides of the world. You have beautiful white snow where you can build Olaf, and I am literally in hell with fire surrounding me everywhere. Yeah. The world is a weird, weird place. Those of you who don't know, he's over there in the Carolinas, and I'm out here in the Californias, and it's weird times.
Yeah, we're going through like a polar vortex, and it's like the coldest it's ever been. And it's the first time it's snowed since like 2021, I think, out here. So like the last time it snowed, Roman Reigns had the belt, and it was like Sami Zayn wasn't part of the bloodline. I mean, there's like a lot of things that have gone on. And yeah, and now it's just crazy. Like California is not that far. Yes, it's on the other side of the country, but it's not like we're on the other side of the world. And we're having crazy fires out there. So hope everybody is staying safe and, doing everything they can to get these fires under control.
For reals. And I don't play the victim ever. Even if my house was there, I wouldn't be like, oh, please, woe is me. But I live in LA County, but I'm not in LA per se. So it's funny because on Tuesday when the fire started, I was at Disneyland with my girl and we had no idea and not really paying attention to social media. We were driving back and we drove through one of the mains out in Sylmar. One of the main, like the whole entire hill was on fire. I was like, why is it saying 2 hours to get home? Like at 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, but all those fires were going. So I saw a lot of people that were like, oh, how did Disneyland not close? They're in LA. Like Disneyland's not in LA. For people that don't know, Anaheim and Los Angeles are about an hour away. It depends on traffic. It could be 45 minutes if it's smooth, but mostly it's about an hour away. And I'm about 35 or so minutes away from most of the majority of fires. So it's crazy out here, man. I just feel bad for everyone. So, big ups to everybody in California and pray for everybody, not me, but pray for everybody else. Rich or poor, people are losing homes. People are losing businesses. I don't care if it's a Starbucks or a mom and pop store. I mean, the Getty almost got burned down. The Hollywood sign was getting threatened. I mean, these are things that would be sad if they were to go away.
Yeah.
So it's crazy times here. So
you can rebuild them, but it's never the same. It never has the same character, same personality, the same, uniqueness that the original one had. So,
well, yeah. I mean, the Hollywood sign's been changed, but the thing is that I thought was crazy that if the Getty would have got burned down, I mean, that has art. That's unfixable.
Oh yeah.
Once it's gone, it's gone. Thankfully, it wasn't. So,
good.
But yes, sir. But let's get into WWE, man, because I think, if my watch tells me, it was a busy week and you got some news. So let's jump into it, my man.
Yeah. So we have some big news right now coming. It broke earlier this morning, but Vince McMahon, the former CEO, chairman of the board, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he basically, I'm trying to find the article, but he confirmed that his hush money charges came to an end. He released a statement on X, and the SEC could not conclude what was going on. So they'll be charging legal woes to Vince McMahon, and he's agreed to pay a sum of $1.33 million to the WWE for violating the Securities Exchange Act and $400,000 as a civil penalty for all these hush money allegations that he was rumored to have been paying around 2021, 2022, the reason that he retired the first time around. And that's when Stephanie came in as the CEO, Triple H took over as head of creative, and then Vince weaseled his way back in right around the beginning of last year, I believe, to force the sale to, or 2023 rather, to force the sale to TKO and now the WWE is as we know it today. This has nothing to do with the Janelle Grant lawsuit, has nothing to do with the sexual assault lawsuit that's going into litigation as we speak. So that's still pending trial, I guess. But he wrote a statement on X that was very confusing because a lot of people. Yeah, I'm going to try to find it, but a lot of people thought like, oh, he's innocent. Maybe he's going to come back to WWE. Yeah, and then and the way he wrote it, because the first thing he wrote was, where is it? Come on.
I have it if you wanted. You have it?
Yeah. He wrote, the case is closed. Today ends nearly 3 years of investigation by different governmental agencies. There has been a great deal of speculation about what exactly the government was investigating and what the outcome would be. As today's resolution shows, much of that speculation was misguided and misleading. In the end, there was never anything more to this than minor accounting errors with regard to some personal payments that I made several years ago while I was CEO of WWE. I'm thrilled that I can now put all this behind me. So he basically makes it sound like he got off scot-free from everything. That the case is closed, the Janelle Grant case is over, and he's putting all of this behind him. But I think a lot of people are under the assumption that it's the hush money stuff that's behind him, so that his wife, Linda McMahon, can be sworn into Trump's cabinet whenever he is sworn in as president in his second inauguration on the 20th of January of this year. So now that that's behind him, she can be sworn in. There's no dark cloud hovering over her, just like Trump, was, not to get political, but he got convicted earlier today as well. So there's just a lot of question marks surrounding everything. But the Janelle Grant lawsuit, as far as we know, is still going on. And the lawyer even came back of Janelle Grant, the lawyer of Janelle, and issued a statement regarding the Vince McMahon SEC report and said during his time leading WWE, Vince McMahon acted as if the rules did not apply to him. And now we have confirmation that he reportedly broke the law to cover up his horrifying behavior, including human trafficking. The SEC's charges prove that the NDA Vince McMahon coerced Ms. Grant into signing violates the law, and therefore her case must be heard in court. While prosecutors for the Southern District of New York continue their criminal investigation, we look forward to bringing new evidence in our civil case about the sexual exploitation Ms. Grant endured at WWE by Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. So she's essentially saying she's going to use this conviction, I guess, of him having to pay money to the WWE as evidence and bring it forth in court before a judge. So a lot more craziness to come, but one thing is behind Vince and we have a lot more to go. So Vince ain't coming back anytime soon to WWE. Brock Lesnar's not coming back. That was another thing I saw all over social media was now Brock Lesnar can come back and we can get Gunther versus Brock and Brock can enter the Royal Rumble. And no, Brock's still not coming back. Vince isn't going into the Hall of Fame this year. There's Vince done for the foreseeable future because he still has this other lawsuit ahead of him.
Yeah. I don't know if what the lawyer said about this proves that he was doing things, making people sign things he wasn't supposed to. I don't think that's what this was for. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure it's because he didn't report it to the WWE, which then meant that the WWE reported how much money they had earned or spent, and it was incorrect. So that is why they were pissed off, and that's what he was being sued for, because basically it was like manipulating figures and numbers. That's what I got out of it when I read it. I didn't hear anything about it was like he forced people or did things illegally to have them sign it. It's like he had people within his company sign things but didn't report it to the company. Yeah. What he did wasn't illegal. It's the way he did it, which was illegal. You're allowed to have people sign things. But he also had them sign it. It wasn't an accounting error. He signed it. He basically said they had an affair and he told them to shut the hell up. So it wasn't like it was like oops. No, he was still doing shady stuff and he had them sign it to not tell anyone. So nothing was illegal, I think, in what I've read. So I don't know. Janelle Grant.
Basically what it's saying is the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, I think it is, alleged that Vince McMahon failed to disclose hush money payments to the tune of $3 million to a former employee and another $7.5 million to a female independent contractor. Due to McMahon failing to disclose the hush money payments, WWE overstated its net income in both 2018 and 2021 by approximately 8% and 1.7%. So basically, yeah, like you said, they cooked their books a little bit because they thought they had more money than they did because he didn't report it. So
it was a more of an eternal thing, not like an external thing where he was getting.
Like he wasn't this lawsuit wasn't going to put him in jail. It wasn't a criminal lawsuit or anything. It was just more of it was going to be a financial burden that now he can put behind him and the case is over, but he still has
at the end of that chapter. Like, what are you?
I don't understand that.
He's also really old, so maybe he truly thinks it's over. But all right, let's get into the next news.
And then the other bit of news, I don't know how I feel about this, but the Royal Rumble is in 2026 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. They're going to have it in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, most likely. They've been announcing commercials for it all year long or all week long on Smackdown and the Raw on Netflix, and they did a big announcement. And I've accepted the Saudi pay-per-views for what they are. They are what they are. They're not going to stop going on account of me. But I am curious, like with the new, government stuff going on, because right now relations with Saudi Arabia are good. Syria and Saudi Arabia are getting along, so Sami Zayn can go. Wrestlers seem like they want to go to Saudi now without fear for their life. But who knows what's going to happen in the political climate that we have after January 20th? What happens? And then, like, does CM Punk, does he go to the Royal Rumble in 2026? Because he's always been against the Saudi shows. And then what about the women? Those poor women, man. Like that's
what I'm saying.
They have they bust their ass in the women's Rumble, and every time they're in Saudi Arabia and there's a women's match, it is crickets. It could be Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair, or Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, two of the top women stars out there, and it's absolute crickets. And I worry about that with the women's Rumble just getting no reaction whatsoever.
And they got to be fully clothed and disrespected. Here's my thing, right?
And it's hot.
That's what I'm saying. They're like fully full. Like, here's my thing, man, is that I have peace and love for everyone. That's who I'm not over here trying to hate any human being, whether you support what I disagree with or I love for all. But I don't think it's proper to go to places where they don't respect all, and they don't. And I know that I've heard that some places in Saudi now have welcomed women to do more. They have more rights and so on, but still overall it's not. But the 4 major pay-per-views, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam need to be in the States. And that's not me being like a nationalist where I'm like, America, but those are the main 4. Let us have it. If you want to go to Canada, so be it. Even if you want to go over to Australia, so be it. There's certain countries that have had that, but we're not going to Saudi for these shows. Save that for certain ones, and we deserve that. But this is what I'm going to get to with Netflix. A lot of people think that this Netflix episode and so on and everything with TKO was created because they're trying to get casuals in this. No. I have been a UFC fan since UFC 1. When TKO took over for UFC, this is exactly what happened. And if you guys are sleeping thinking that Triple H or anyone else is going to convince otherwise, TKO is about one thing and one thing only: the bottom dollar. They don't give 2 shits about you, me, or anyone in America. So if Saudi's going to give them more money, I guarantee WrestleMania will be there.
Yeah.
Both nights. And those women will have to deal with that. And I know if I agree with you that the wrestlers are okay with it, because what are you going to say as an employer? An employee, no, I don't want to go there. F you, TKO. You can suck it. All right, well then go to AEW. No thanks.
Yeah.
Like, so you're good.
I don't think
you think those women want to go? You think those women? You think Nia Jax wants to go there? Like, you think she gets treated well and seen? And Bianca Belair, Naomi, and yes, I'm bringing up women of color and women. Like, they probably have it a lot harder than Liv Morgan up in there, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you think these women who have pride in themselves and who live in a country where, even though we're still behind, with how we treat women in this country, we're centuries ahead of Saudi Arabia. So that's what, like, I don't know. I think we just, as pro wrestling fans, I'm not going to get here and get political. So I'm not getting political. This has nothing to do with conservative or liberals. This is just facts. TKO is about money. Get used to it, y'all. This is the new, if you're upset with, and we'll get into it, The Rock pointlessly coming out and doing nothing, get used to it.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Macaulay Culkin don't cut a promo next week for 35 minutes. don't even get it twisted if Squid Games does a Squid Game activity in the middle of the ring for 25 minutes because it's a Netflix episode. It's about money. Get used to it, y'all. The pro wrestling you loved is dead. I'm saying it right now. Get used to it. Get used to 4 matches and 2 Squid Game events. Get used to it.
Yeah.
So
we got.
Sorry, hopefully I didn't get too crazy.
No, I don't. But we got the Rumble in 2025 to look forward to in Indianapolis. So we'll cross the Rumble 2026 bridge when we get there. But a little disappointing that they're going to Saudi Arabia.
Do it for randoms. Do in your houses there. Do
something.
Crown
Elimination
Jewels.
Chamber. What's wrong with the Crown Jewel stuff?
Yeah, I don't.
You have the Crown Jewel Championship, so why not just continue that tradition?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Once again, money talks, BS walks, brother. Vegas ain't gonna give them Saudi. I heard the Saudi. How much should they pay in those events? Like some 50 million or 500, something like 200
so
something. It's high amounts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's it. Or you got more?
Triple H was on Pat McAfee on the Raw before Netflix to hype it up and everything, and he said,
you want to talk about the numbers, right?
SmackDown's going back to 2 hours. After being 3 hours for a week. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going back to 2 hours sometime soon. He didn't give a specific date. And then the Raw on Netflix drew 4.9 million viewers. So they did what they set out to do. They drew a whole new audience in. But I am curious to see what the numbers are for next week's episode. And
so what does like an episode of Squid Game do? Like, so I'm curious. Like, Raw was always doing close to 2 million, right? SmackDown always did over 2 million. So, but those aren't put out to the entire world. Netflix is the entire world. So is that a great number? I was thinking the number wasn't that great. Like, how much did Tyson and Jake Paul do? Like 50 million, 60 million? Like, is that a great number? I don't know. I didn't think it was that high. I'm just saying. When I heard 4-something million, I was like, meh, because it only did 2 million in the States.
It peaked with 65 million, was Paul versus Tyson, 65 million, 38 million in the US.
And 2 different things. I get it. 2 different things. But
and then Squid Game, and now they put the whole season up at once. So you're not binge watching every week like you are at WWE. But Squid Game had, you ready for this number?
Yeah.
126.2 million views in 11 days. So, yeah.
By the way, if you haven't seen
up.
Squid Game season 2 is better than 1. I'm just saying it. That show is freaking phenomenal.
I've seen season 1. Haven't seen season 2 yet.
Watch them both twice. Watch them with the ridiculous subtitles, but then also watch it in Korean because it's better in Korean. Because I know you have to read, but the acting is better. You get more of a Yeah, it sucks. You can't sit there and like hook up with your chick, Netflix and chill, if you know what I mean. You gotta watch a little bit.
No, it's WWE and chill.
Yeah. But good. I mean, congratulations. I'm not talking WWE.
No,
I just thought I thought it would do something because it was like the first one. Like, I didn't think they'd all be that, but starting at 4 million, that makes me think every episode is just going to do what they did on USA. You know what I mean? It's just going to be the same numbers. So why go? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that when we talk about Netflix, right? Because it wasn't. Well, we'll get there.
I didn't care for it, but
we'll get there.
That's the news. Not a lot. I mean, crazy week for WWE. Busy week, good week, but good week numbers wise, good week business wise, but some questionable decisions going on with Vince McMahon and Saudi Arabia.
I agree. All right. And I'll make sure when we do our AEW episode, I'll refer to it as Two Dudes Reads the Nudes. All right.
Yeah.
Two Dudes Read the News. Yeah. Gosh, I got to be careful with that because 2 dudes rhymes with nudes. And that's going to be
2 dudes sending nudes.
I'm going to get us, 2 dudes reading nudes, homie. What do you think about this nude? All right. Speaking of nudes, Tiffany Stratton Let's talk about some SmackDown, baby. Just kidding. She's never done nudes, but I would like to see them. Actually, let's start the other way. All right, SmackDown. We had a jam-packed episode, and we are changing things just so you all know. New year, new dudes. We are going to do no more recapping. We think it's a waste of time. We're going to go straight into it, and we're only going to talk about what we think is important.
That's right.
Deal with it. That's how
like
all podcasts do it anyway.
Yeah. If you don't like it, email us and let us know. 2dudeswithattitudespodcast@gmail.com. So
and keep tuning in because we love
it. Please
do. All right,
let's get into it. We'll go back if you want us to.
And then we'll do recaps again, sir. We're sorry, ma'am.
Absolutely. Sorry. We thought this would be a good little trick.
Quicker episodes, man. We're trying to make it quicker. All right, so SmackDown. Let's talk about it. We had Cody Rhodes open up the dang show, and Drew McIntyre interrupts, and we're thinking we're going to get some good stuff. But instead, we legitimately get a session of hugging and love. Drew McIntyre tells Cody Rhodes how much he loves him. And then Cody Rhodes is like, we're going to fight. And then Drew's like, you should watch your back. And Cody Rhodes is like, I'm watching it. And boom, Kevin Owens attacks. Drew McIntyre approves. What do you think, my man? Let's hear it. What'd you think of this opening?
I thought it was. I didn't like it. I didn't mind the. I didn't mind the hug. I didn't mind the stuff like that. But it was just strange. Like you said, I was expecting them to brawl. I was expecting, Drew McIntyre to cut a promo and like just eviscerate Cody Rhodes and tear him a new one. And the fact that like he's been so pissed off and so just angry at everything lately, and then all of a sudden he wants to hug Cody Rhodes and tell him that he respects Cody Rhodes, and he but then he tells him he needs to watch his back, which that was foreshadowing because Kevin Owens then later on told Jimmy Uso to watch his back, or Jey Uso to watch his back, and there was Drew McIntyre. So I liked that part because it made me think that maybe there is a little alliance going on between KO and Drew McIntyre and maybe Seth Rollins now. But
get into that.
Yeah. But so I liked for that reason. But when I first watched like the opening segment of SmackDown, I was like, huh? This is strange. Like this is what was the point of Drew's appearance? Like that's the thing that didn't make any sense to me. Why was he there just to give Cody Rhodes a hug?
It was definitely, and we'll get into on Netflix, it was definitely a week of kissing the ass of Netflix and kissing the ass of Cody Rhodes. Everybody loved Cody and everybody loved Netflix. There was too much everybody loving. And that's what, like you said, I like the fact that Ohio State beat Texas. Wow. Sorry, I just popped up.
They're going to the title game.
Dude, they defeated. Texas, their quarterback is garbage. I still think if they would have played Manning the whole year, they would have won undefeated. Yeah, that Ewers goo is not good. Anyway, sorry, just popped up on my alert. But no, I agree with you. I thought the hug was stupid and it didn't really bring anything to it because he could have just gotten his face and talked a mess and then said, let's fight. And then Drew could have been like, nah, but watch your back. And then had Kevin. I don't understand why he did have the love fest them. It's not like you tricked him. It's like you were hugging him and then Kevin Owens came from behind and Drew was like, yeah, gotcha. But it did confirm, and we'll get into Netflix if we think others are going to add and more to this story of helping each other out. But it did confirm pretty much that we are at least getting some type of faction with at least KO and Drew McIntyre during this SmackDown episode moving forward, which I do like.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that pairing, and I hope they do add more. But like you said, the whole point, like, why did he have to hug him? He didn't do anything. It was just really, really bizarre.
I fully agree. Speaking of bizarre, let's get into it because our girl, the beautiful, the lovely, the Mrs. Kaiser, Tiffany Stratton, cashes in on Nia Jax, but like this segment, after she helps her beat Naomi. So basically what happened was that Tiffany Stratton came out, was going to cash in. She knocks the referee out. Then she takes out Naomi with the briefcase instead of Nia Jax. Jax then does her Yokozuna on Naomi, gets the win. And then Tiffany Stratton then hits her, cashes in, beats her, the end. I have two real things. Actually get into it. What did you think? Because I was going to get into the bizarre, but I'll let you go first, and then I'll talk about the bizarre, what I think was weird about it. But because I liked it a lot, but I do have some things. Go ahead.
I liked it a lot too. I like the swerve. They had me going. I was like, oh, okay, she's gonna cash in. Oh, no, she's not. And then, oh, yes, she is. And then she does, and then she wins the belt. So I thought it was well done, and I thought it was well deserved. I think it's, I love Nia Jax. I love her title reign, but I think it was we were in need of a new women's champion, and we were in need of a babyface run now for Tiffany Stratton. And I think that's what we're getting. The crowd pop was absolutely insane for it. And for the first 3 hours Smackdown, in the first Smackdown of 2025, the first WWE show of 2025, I thought they did the right thing by, giving the fans a title change. So I like the way they did it. It was a little, it was a little confusing at first, and then she took out Candice LeRae, and then she took out Nia Jax, but she also beat up Bianca still, and also beat up Naomi. But I'm just happy that Tiffany Stratton is the undisputed women's champion, and I'm curious to see where they go from here with competitors. But I also feel like the roster is pretty deep right now for the women's championship on SmackDown. You got Bayley, Naomi, Jade Cargill is coming back anytime soon. Bianca Belair, who knows what's happening with Charlotte Flair. So the potential of Nia Jax. So the potential of opponents for Tiffany Stratton is it's pretty endless. So I'm excited about that.
For one thing, Candice LeRae is fine. I just want to throw that out there.
Good job, Johnny.
Her hair needs a change, but she's fine. Okay, so you're saying you liked it being on SmackDown. You don't think it should have been saved for a PLE?
I think
you don't think this could have. Okay, so don't think about Netflix.
Yeah.
Or you thought about Netflix, because I think Netflix then ruined this. I think it made me feel even more so. So I thought it was early. I thought we could have still cooked with this a little bit more. I liked it. I thought Nia being the queen of the ring and then winning at SummerSlam, she's had a great run, deserved a more. I get it. You're going to say it was a 3-hour SmackDown, right? And it was the first SmackDown, so that's why. But I don't know. But then what happened on Netflix made me even more.
And then same thing with NXT. No.
Yeah. That's that's what I'm like.
Friday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Yeah. We don't have to do New Year, new champs. That's not how it works. But I do have to say really quick, I did really enjoy the way it worked. My thing is I have two problems. One, sometimes we have to make it a little bit real. If you were Tiffany Stratton and you had the opportunity to do it, why in your head would you think, you know what I'm going to do? She's hurt. She's damaged. I can cash in. Nah, I want the crowd to be a little bit more worried. So I'm going to help her win. Let her build up, get her healthy, let her. Yeah, but it was just so, because I hate thinking logically, and I know you're gonna say, do you think logically in Game of Thrones? Yes, I do. I do think, because if I watch a show and it's completely not logical, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care if I'm watching How I Met Your Mother. The show needs to be effing logical. It can't just be not logical. It needs to make sense. It didn't make sense for her to wait like that. No, we'll talk off the record. But until we start.
How did Ted Mosby how did Josh Radnor not become Bob Saget? That's the one I'm like, talk about logic, right? Like Bob Saget was narrating the show the whole time until the finale,
but they had him end it, and he had a whole different voice, which I always thought was stupid. Not logical. You're right, but it was stupid. I didn't like it. There you go. Not logical. Why is the show called How I Met Your Mother when it's about Robin? Not logical. But anyway,
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. So, and then secondly, I've seen every single cash in ever. Please explain to me why sometimes the referee does not let you start until the competitor is standing, and sometimes they don't. The last cash in, they made the people stand. No, the person's like, hurry up. No. And then the person gets up, and then they're like, all right, ring the bell. This time the referee wasn't even in the ring. They were like, whatever, bing, bing, bing. Nia Jax is still out. She does her move and then pins. We have to make it make sense. You can't just 1 second you can just cash in like CM Punk and Edge did, and then recently you have to be standing up because they're not going to lose their cash in, so you need them to be competitive. You got to. This is not like a referee discretion. There needs to be one rule. You can cash in at any point. Doesn't matter if they're dead, laying on the ring, or standing, or they have to be standing at all time. But you can't. Have you not noticed that? More than half cash-ins, they force them to stand up. There, it was like, no, she's good.
And there's all these like unwritten rules about the cash-in too. Like Damian Priest, like we were wondering, is he gonna, like Seth Rollins announced that he has a hurt knee. He's gonna be out from the Rumble all the way to the beginning of Mania. We don't know what's going on. Perfect opportunity for Damian Priest to cash in. But no. The rules state that he can't cash in if he's injured. I'm like, who said this? Like, where's this rule written? Like, that's dumb. Like, he should be able to cash in. The rules that in the contract says anytime, anywhere, but not if he's hurt. So that part, there's a lot of logic issues there.
Not only that, if I was cashing in, you know what I would do? I'd hit that champion while he's taking a shit on the bathroom and be like, yo, let's go, Ref. But think, 1, 2, like it should be at 24. It doesn't have to be in the ring, does it? Like, but that's even thinking even more outside. I'm saying that like the fact that you can either stand or sit is stupid. You have to come on, Trips. It either has to be both or none, or one or nothing. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, other than that, I agree with you. I loved it. I thought it was great. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm pumped for Tiffany Stratton and her championship.
Oh yeah.
And I think curious to see what happens with Nia Jax going forward. But we have the Rumble coming up, so maybe she'll get her revenge at Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania or something. But I wonder how long Tiffany Stratton's reign will last too.
Here's the thing before we get into it. For one, what Nia Jax needs now is a flower from every single competitor and executive and fan. Number one. Secondly, a while. We're about to get into Netflix now, Raw Netflix. Did you hear her get the biggest pop out of everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. Every celebrity, every person. Tiffany Stratton got the biggest pop by far. Girl's a star, homie. Yeah. And it's not just because she's gorgeous, because she ain't even as gorgeous as all. There's finer women in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
She just is super uber talented, and she has a good gimmick, man. It works. Fun to look at, but she has so many other qualities. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. But let's get into it. You ready? I know you like to Raw, and I know you like to Raw and chill. So let's get into WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We're going to go all 8 things. We're going to cover them all. We're going to try to go quick, not drag on to everything. Let's go with the opening. It has a curtain over the ring. It shows a phenomenal video of past wrestling where they even showed Chris Jericho and other people. It's really cool. They didn't just keep it all WWE dudes.
Edge was there. Yeah.
Edge was there. The curtain drops. Guess who's in the ring? Current wrestlers? No, Triple H. And I made a post a while ago about how I was sick of seeing Triple H and how I thought it was stupid and how all he wants to do is be in the spotlight. I got so much hate and shit about how no, he doesn't. Ever since then, he's on every single week. Keep him off my. I get it, Triple H. I get it, but you don't need to have the curtain. You're not like. I hated when Vince did it. Stop. But anyway, Triple H opens. After that, The Rock speaks. He loves Cody. What'd you think of the hot opening on Netflix? Necessary because that's what you have to do, or did you hate? Because The Rock was Dwayne Johnson, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
He brought his belt, the stupid belt, but he gave it to his kids, and then he just basically he was Dwayne Johnson. So what'd you think?
I didn't mind the Triple H thing. I've accepted it, right? Like he's gonna open every big event. I agree with you though.
Big or every event?
Yeah, every event. Yeah, I agree with you though. I want him off my screen. We don't need to be told. We're speaking of How I Met Your Mother. We're not told by Carter Bays every 5 seconds. Hey, I created the show. Hey, I'm the writer of the show. Wait till you see what happens next. Oh, wait until the finale. It's going to be a great episode.
Thank you.
You never know what we're like. We're not reminded constantly from the directors and the creators of television shows on a weekly basis.
But if they were a character and did it, then you would accept it. So if Triple H wants to be a character, then be a character like Vince did.
Yeah.
Then be the Vince McMahon. If not, stay off my screen. Continue. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
point.
But
but I don't mind I'm over the Triple H thing. I want to get into The Rock because you talk about a complete and utter letdown. We had The Rock. The last time we saw The Rock, he was doing a throat slash and holding up 3 fingers at Bad Blood after Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes teamed up and beat Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And it was just, like The Rock came out and he was babyface Rock. He did finally The Rock has come back to Netflix. Welcome home. Somebody in the audience went, chee-hoo for Moana, and he did it right back. It was like he was not the final boss character. It was just very, very strange, very bizarre. He praised Cody Rhodes, and I thought Cody Rhodes looked like an absolute chump. Cody Rhodes is your champion, the face of the franchise, the quarterback of the brand, as everybody likes to say. And like, first of all, he didn't have his belt. Second of all, he laughs. Cody Rhodes is like, or The Rock says something about "Tell Mama Rhodes I said hello," and Cody's like,
after he was insulting her,
after Rock, you're so funny, that Dwayne, It was just very, very weird. He's dapping him up as he's leaving. There was no advancement of the story. We got nothing. And it looks like the story's over now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I was completely disappointed by it. It was just very strange.
And here's the thing too, is that it looks, and we'll get into his NXT appearance because he tried to stay face, but we'll get into that. I'll tear his ass. I did on TikTok too, if you didn't see it. But it seems like after we go into Roman versus Solo, that the bloodline is dead now, right? I mean, I'm assuming it's done, and maybe that's why they had The Rock. So I'm assuming we are going to go to a Cody versus Randy, or a Cody versus CM Punk, or a Cody versus somebody else. But I just didn't like it. Also, I didn't like the fact that Cody was like in the crowd hanging out for The Rock, and then he came out from the back when he jumped in on the like. When did he leave? And I get it. They only have like one row, and they switch out the WWE guys. They're like, all right, Braun, you're in. All right, Tiffany, you're in. All right, LA Knight, you're in. And then they switch them in the back because why would they even have seats? But yeah, I fully agree with you. Dwayne Johnson, the Yahoo, the stupid thing. And we'll get into this more on the NXT one because then who tries that, we'll get into that. But after that, we had Roman Reigns defeat Solo Sikoa. He now has the Ulafala. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ulafala. He is now the tribal chief, the king, the everything. And he won after Solo Sikoa had 75 people help him win. What did you think? Are you upset that Roman won? Are you upset how he won? Is this the end of the bloodline? And now is Solo Sikoa a freaking clown? Or can he recover? Because he had everyone help, including, which I wanted to get into, Kevin Owens. So Drew McIntyre didn't come out, but Kevin Owens did, which makes me even think more that Kevin and Drew are going to be in a crew because now Kevin's doing his dirty work for him.
Yeah, so that I was actually perplexed at that. Not so much at the fact that KO is helping Drew, but the fact that Drew's been hell-bent on, I'm hunting the bloodline, I'm hunting the bloodline, I'm hunting the bloodline. And you have 3 of the 4 members of the bloodline in the ring at the same time, and you're nowhere to be found. Like,
is it because he had a match later? Do you think that's why? Because he had the match and they didn't?
Yeah. Maybe because Jay didn't come out and help.
That's
Roman
what I
either.
mean.
So maybe, but still, like that people do that all the time before they interfere and stuff, and then they have a match that same night, or they'll like. It's just I didn't understand that, but I don't know what they do with Solo Sikoa going forward. I think Solo should have won this match and continued this feud, maybe going into WrestleMania or something. But the most disappointing part of it all was, again, after the match, The Rock came out to, Paul Heyman's about to put the Ulafala on Roman Reigns. And then The Rock comes out and he's like, no, let me do it. Rock comes out to no music. He takes the Ulafala from Paul Heyman and then he puts it on Roman Reigns. And he's staring at Roman. He's smirking a lot. They're dapping it up. They're hugging. And we keep waiting. Okay, low blow, rock bottom. Or he's going to take the Ulafala and put it on himself and crown himself as the tribal chief and walk out, planting some seeds. We're going to get some seeds planted for Rock versus Roman. But no, he hugs him, he daps him up, and then end of the segment and on to John Cena. It was very strange. It was overbooked, but I don't mind the overbooking if it works. But one thing we'll talk about when we get to New Year's resolutions is stop kicking out of everybody's damn finishers. I mean, how many times Roman Reigns got hit with a stunner from Kevin Owens and kicked out at like 2.99999. and then Solo Sikoa gets a spear and he's pinned 1, 2, 3. It's just very strange and how everything was done. But yeah, I am curious what happens with Solo going forward.
Yeah, and there were some seeds planted when Travis Scott and Jey Uso came into the ring. Don't worry about that. But it's
smoke blown.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think this made Solo look horrible. Solo was supposed to be this big threat, and people have said he was a little biatch because Jacob Fatu was the man. And how do you make him feel important? By having him get 17 people to help him win, but still lose. I think this is an awful way to. If you're going to have him lose, and just have him lose. Why have people, or at least have both sides interfere then to make it equal? It was only his side try. He had people not even part of his faction help him, and he still lost. That's flipping embarrassing. I think it made him look really bad, to be honest with you. And is he buried? No, I'm just saying it made him look bad.
And if you remember, it was Solo who was going around telling everyone, after WrestleMania that Roman lost the belt and losing has consequences, and he turned on Jey because of it. So I am curious what happens with the Bloodline 2.0 now that Solo has lost every time he has faced Roman Reigns, with the exception of a tag team match at Crown Jewel. He's lost to Roman every time. So,
well, as we speak, you've seen the new Smackdown. I'm assuming they turned on him, but don't give me any spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, we'll see. All right, let's keep it moving after that. John Cena, he comes out and he praises Netflix. And then he praises Netflix. And then he talks about how much he loves Netflix. And then he says that Netflix is a great place to be on. And then he thanks some execs from Netflix. And then he loves Netflix. But also, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. What'd you think?
Every single promo on this episode was a complete and utter waste of time. And this was another one. I kept waiting for this during this segment for somebody's music to hit, whether it was A-Town Down Under, Chad Gable, Gunther, somebody to come out and, maybe you don't have to start a rivalry, but maybe you have John Cena hit Chad Gable with a FU or the attitude adjustment, or you plant some seeds with Gunther and John Cena, because if John Cena wins the Rumble, he's probably maybe he challenges Gunther. So we get something. But this was I think we all kind of knew John Cena was going to be in the Royal Rumble. I think he announced it when he retired. He said, this coming Royal Rumble match will be my last. So this WrestleMania will be my last. This SummerSlam.
He's even going to be in the Elimination Chamber. They don't even know who's in that, but he's in it. So
it's just like, so for him to come out and announce that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and it took him like 30 minutes to get to his point too. I was just like, come on, dude. If by judging by this logic, I'm going to have to win the Royal Rumble. Hey, wait a minute. That gives me an idea. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. It was just a very strange promo and a complete waste of time, because we knew he was going to be in the Rumble match already. And now I have this feeling that he's going to win the Royal Rumble. I just have this feeling.
I don't know, because everybody's already said they're going to be in it. So it's like him, it's Punk, it's Roman, it's everybody's saying they're in it. So I don't know. I feel like he has some competition. But with that said, I am not a John Cena fan. I don't like him at all. I think he's so overrated. I've said it 1,000 times. People hate me for it. But even I am respectful enough, unless you're Double J, to respect your last year of professional wrestling. And I'm all for it. And I was so excited to see what was going to happen. And boy, did that was not the start I wanted. I wanted something better. You can't tell me that you used to be married to Nikki Bella. So that was weak. Who was in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen? Holy shit. You see how her sister wasn't there, though? Yeah. They didn't show her, though.
Yeah.
She was there. Yeah, she AEW. You stay out, I'll ring, homie. But no, Nikki was always a finer one anyway. And you know what I mean? Why? But anyway, but she was definitely the finer one. But nonetheless, I mean, it was stupid. And talking about stupid, after this, Rhea Ripley defeats Liv Morgan. This was basically a squash match. It was basically just overpowering her. And then Rhea Ripley defeats her. And Daddy Dom comes out to reconcile, and then he gets kicked in the ding-ding, and that's the end of Judgment Day. So Bloodline, dead, check. Judgment Day, dead, check. Please, I want you to explain to me why Rhea Ripley should have the belt, not Liv Morgan. Yo.
I can't. I've seen it all over social media that everyone's happy with Rhea Ripley winning the belt. And now
Rhea's
we can end
great.
this
You
feud.
know we
Yeah.
love Rhea.
Oh yeah, I love me some Rhea. But yeah,
100%.
oh, now we can end this feud, and Rhea can go on to other things and feud with other people. The whole feud with Liv Morgan was about Rhea anyway, and it's just like, okay, but Liv needed the championship more than Rhea does, and Liv really should have won this match. This has been a 2-year build that they've been telling to this story, and yeah, I think Liv should have won. I think Liv should have won clean. It is just, again, we had a title change on Friday. And I feel like they had to change a belt on Monday because they're on the big show on Netflix. We had to change the belt because of the 3-hour Smackdown. Now we have to change a belt on the new Raw on Netflix. And this was the only title match they had. So they had to do a title change. And they killed 2 factions in one night, the Bloodline and the Judgment Day. And I'm not happy about it. So we'll see what they do next week, because Damian Priest and Finn Balor are in a street fight on Monday Night Raw. So Damian Priest is going to get that win, and Judgment Day is going to be even further down the rabbit hole of breakup, on the verge of explosion.
Yeah, I don't think there's many people that love Mommy more than I do. I love her. I got too many shirts of her. That's my girl. I have many of TikToks that I've made that have gotten huge views because of her. But this wasn't it. She doesn't need the belt. I'd rather have her move to another brand, to Raw or whatever, to be that champion instead of being, or SmackDown or whatever it is. Yeah, SmackDown, to feud for that. That would have been more interesting to me. I just don't, unless they're going to have her lose to Charlotte soon, I don't see what the point of it was. But Liv needed the belt. Rhea didn't. And Rhea has nothing moving forward. What is she doing going forward? At least Liv could have had when Finn loses, hey, I'm better than you or so on. Now it's just done deal. Yeah. I hated it. And to end it, we had the American Badass motorcycle in, and people praise that as well. Please explain to me again, make it make sense. What do they have to do with each other? Go.
Nothing. I can't. I will say, I like how they used, if you're going to use a legend on a show to introduce the crowd, to introduce the new audience to your stars, that's how you do it. You don't have The Rock come out and cut a 45-minute promo, and you don't have, Triple H come out and ask if everybody's ready. You don't have 95-year-old Hulk Hogan come out there and talk about a partnership.
Get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
You do what you did with the Undertaker, but I still, it was an awkward segment because he rode in, and then it looked like he wanted her to get on his bike and ride with him. But
I was wondering what Michelle McCool was going to think about that. Yeah,
yeah, but she didn't, and then it was just it was just a strange way to end the show. And I kept waiting, man. This is one of those times. I made a video on TikTok saying what did this episode do to get that new audience to tune in for next week? And that was a prime opportunity to, get that music from the Man, Becky Lynch, playing, have her return. She beat her at WrestleMania, but Becky Lynch was apparently hurt, and so was Rhea Ripley. So now you have both
Charlotte,
of them. Both of them are healthy again. Yeah, bring that out and have them stare each other down, and boom. Now I'm hooked for next week. I got to see what happens next week. With you have an opponent in mind for Rhea Ripley in her first defense, so it should be dope. But no, they didn't do anything. It was just a huge, everything on this show was just a complete disappointment for me.
Waste of time. And after that, speaking of disappointments, we have The Rock. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's backstage. He has an entire bottle of Terramana in his hand. That's his tequila, which is phenomenal, by the way. I have drank his tequila. I love it. But he has an entire bottle, and he's not pouring shot glasses, ladies and gentlemen. He is chugging it by the gallon. He's putting that down his throat. He sees other people. He's giving them shots, and he sees Cody Rhodes. They kiss a little bit on the cheeks. They drink some Terramana together, and The Rock jumps in his car and drives away in his truck after chugging a bottle of tequila. So we'll get into something else that we're about to do, but this episode was very I'm not trying to be woke, and I'm going to probably sound woke again after this, whatever woke means, but I mean, is that a good look? I mean, I'm not saying that I've ever not had a shot of tequila and drove home. I mean, I'm not saying he was drunk. I'm just saying weird segue, right? Or am I? I mean, let alone the Cody thing. Not only did he doubled down on his love for because we'll get into it on NXT, but it's you can't say you were playing chess when you're doubling down. You doubled down. You can't say you love him and then spend the night at his house and be like, oh, no, but I'm just playing chess. I went to his house to figure out how I'm going to kill him. Like, no, you're not. Like, it was really weird and unnecessary. We didn't need him in the back.
No, we really didn't. We didn't need him. It was strange. Like, 10 months ago, you're beating that guy up by his bus, bloodying him up with his belt.
In that back.
In that same backstage area. And here you are later on, you're drinking with him. It's just, all of it's weird. And then, like, the same people that are saying that the show's not for the everyday WWE fan, and it's to reintroduce the lapsed fan to the new product on Netflix.
Where did they get that from?
I don't know. The show wasn't for us. It's for the new Netflix audience. Okay. I'm like, I keep seeing that, and I'm like, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, so that's why The Rock came out as a babyface, because the casual fans don't know who the final boss is, but they know that The Rock is the people's champion. So
then you tell them.
Exactly.
Then you explain why he's the final. No,
but also,
this is by stupid creators. That's not real life.
No, I know, but
they're all morons too.
And those same people are the ones saying you can't boo Maui. He's in front of his family. He's in front of his crowd. So why is he drinking and driving then?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if you can't boo Maui and he's there in front of his kids, and he's trying to be a good example for his daughters and gives them the People's Championship belt, why is he backstage drinking and driving? That's a horrible example to set to the children. It's still a PG product, no matter what people say. It's still a rated PG product, and I know they're a little more uncensored now on Netflix, but yeah, that was not a good look at all.
And speaking of a PG product, after this, Travis Scott, the man, the myth, the legend, who got famous with a song from Drake, who also had people killed at one of his concerts when he put too many people onto his stage and it collapsed when they told him not to.
Yeah,
was shown in the crowd smoking
with the hardcore championship, by the way.
With the hardcore. Why the heck did he have? I don't know. Well, because he was smoking. He was probably drunk and high. So he's smoking a blunt. For those of you that don't know what a blunt is, it's marijuana wrapped around in a cigar. I'm from California. If anybody has the state of smoking marijuana, it is us. I'm not against it's legal here. But you know how it's not legal to smoke it in public? It has to be in your home, on your property. He has this blunt in a crowd with kids, with fans, and he is taking puffs and blowing it onto kids and fans, which is completely inappropriate. Out comes Jey Uso. They walk to the ring, and then Jey Uso wrestles Drew McIntyre and beats him clean. This man is hunting. I'm hunting for rabbits. It's rabbit season. He's hunting for them bloodline. He beat one guy, and now he lost already. So why the hell should I believe in Drew? Oh, wait. It's for the casual fan. It's for the people who don't normally watch, because when they come in, they shut up. No, it's not. This was stupid. All of it was dumb, and shame on Triple H and company, because not only him, but dumbass Aaron Rodgers' best friend, Pat McAfee, who's an idiot as well, stay off my screen, then went on and was like praising the blunt as well and like making jokes about it. Please tell me how that's fun. I'll tell you this much. If I brought my son or daughter to that event and we were in the crowd and that dude was blowing marijuana smoke on my kid's face, we would have problems. So you might have seen me in jail, homie. And I'm not even anti-weed at all, but I'm anti my friend coming over and blowing it in my kids' faces. So you can F up that.
Yeah.
So, catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, and like the fact that it was just all of it was strange. And Triple H joking about it, like, I'm happy that Jey Uso just said no on his way down to the ring, and Joe Tessitore on the post show was making jokes about it.
Yeah.
It was all of it was awful.
Was it planned? Do you think that was approved? Do you think he said, yo, I'm gonna smoke a blunt, and Triple H was like, yeah? Or do you think since he already had it, they're trying to stay face and not look bad, so now they're trying to be like, let's make jokes because I don't want to get in trouble? You think that's what it was?
I don't think it was planned. I don't think they knew he was going to do that, because
the dude's an idiot, so it is what it is. I mean, before that,
But Drew losing clean was a horrible decision. It was a night full of bad decisions, and this was another one. This was just, I don't understand. You know, you're hunting the bloodline. You're hunting the bloodline. You're hunting the bloodline. First time you face the bloodline, you lose. And you lose clean. There was no cheating. There was no interference. There was no, he didn't have any help. He lost clean. 1, 2, 3. The match was short. It was not a great, it was probably the worst match on the card all night. And
there was only one good match. So
yeah, and it was just I didn't understand what they did here. I don't understand why they did this to Drew McIntyre.
Oh, well,
and if he was going to lose
yeah.
clean, at least have it so he interferes in the Roman match and takes out Jimmy, and then you can have him and Jay brawl. Then I can be okay with him losing clean or something to like, you got our family earlier. I'm going to get you now, like something. But no, they didn't even do that.
Speaking of not making sense, TKO and Triple H thought it was a good idea to bring Hulk Hogan out in California. Now, let me say this. I not want to get into politics because people are like, oh, it's all political.
No,
here's
it
the
wasn't.
thing.
No.
But here's the thing. California is a state of love and understanding. And we aren't pro-racism. We're not pro-idiots. We're not pro that person either. And that's everything that Hulk Hogan is. So the fact that they thought Hogan was going to come out and cut a promo. You know what else California is not pro of? Being told what to like and being advertised in their throats. So there was all of it. So Hulk Hogan, looking like the Crypt Keeper, he looks awful, walking out. He basically tries to promote his new beer, Real American Beer, by the way, which is, I think, only being sold in your state in Texas. That's not being sold
it's like,
anywhere.
and it's PBR. That's all it is.
It's 100%. I was about to say, it's literally a shitty PBR beer, which is lower than a Coors Light in a can with Hulk Hogan's. It's made by them. It's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's trash.
Yeah, it's the
and
same
he's
logo.
Yeah. And he came out and promoted his beer, which you can't even buy in this state. Why are you promoting it? Long story short, he came out, poor Jimmy Hart. He got booed out of the. I saw a funny thing where he was like, hey, Jimmy, are they saying boo? And he was like, no, they're saying boo other.
Brother.
Boo brother. And he's like, are you saying boo or boo brother?
I saw that too.
Great stuff. Great. But do you think he was cut short because of that? He knew he was getting booed, right? I mean, props to Hogan for sticking to it. Like, I'm not anti-Hogan. I do think what Hogan has done for professional wrestling, you can't take away. Is he a disgusting human being? Yes. But I listen to music of people who I think are disgusting. Sometimes I will ignore the fact that you're just sometimes. But I'm just saying, you can't take away what he has done because honestly,
you really can't.
Without Hogan, we wouldn't be here today. But doesn't mean you have to keep bringing him out. Once he becomes that human, keep him the F off our screens.
And again, I've said this about every segment so far, but what was the point of this? Like to promote we already knew about his partnership with the beer because the WWE does this thing where they release everything the day of the show. So they did a press release and Triple H was tweeting about it. Hulk Hogan did an Instagram statement all like the morning of the show saying that Hulk Hogan's going to cut a promo on Raw tonight and he's going to promote his beer. And WWE is partnering with, his PBR beer, his Real American Lager or whatever it's called. And it's just like, what's the point? And then Hulk Hogan comes out and talks about his beer. He doesn't talk about anything else. And says that Netflix is a great partner, dude. And
he talked about
and they're the greatest tag team partner ever, dude. And then they leave. And no point whatsoever. Absolutely pointless. And the highlight of the night for me was Hogan getting booed out of the building because it was surprising, but also just hilarious.
I loved it. And the best part about him, but the saddest part about him being booed was that they booed everything. Because he was like, and I'm here to talk about my tag team partner, brother. And that's real. Boo. And he's like, but I've also had other good tag team partners, like the Macho Man. Boo.
Yeah, they booed him.
I'm like, damn, they booed the Macho Man, bro. Yeah. You know they hate you when they're booing.
He was collateral damage, that poor guy.
Yeah, he was literally. And then he was like, all right, I'm out of here, brother. Boo. He's like, yeah, all right.
But again, you couldn't have used that time. Like my wife, My wife, who does not watch WWE, so that's who this episode was for, apparently, was for
100% it was. Yeah,
she came in and was like, why is 95-year-old Hulk Hogan, he's still in WWE? And I'm like, okay, that's who you catered your audience to on this first episode of Netflix, was those people. And they probably turned the channel or they didn't want to watch. And so you couldn't have used that time to do a promo between Valkyria and Dakota Kai to promote Gunther. The women's or Gunther to do the women's Intercontinental title final next week, or Gunther cutting a promo about something instead of the vignette. The champion of the Raw brand was not even on the show. Not even on the show. Everyone's losing their shit over how Cody Rhodes was presented. Let's talk about how Gunther, the champion of the brand, was not there. And they could have used that time instead to promote one of them or promote something for next week. Get us to watch next week. And they didn't. It was just all of this was a big miss.
Big miss. Well, let's
I'm glad
close
we
it
didn't
off.
go.
Oh God, you were gonna spend a lot of money to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have paid $600 to get in. We would have sat way up on top.
Got smoke blown in our faces by Travis Scott. Yeah, it would have been fun.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If it's me, it's okay. Like I said, I was just mad because there's kids in the audience. You want to blow it in my face, Travis Scott? Let's go. Anyway, all right. In the end, main event: CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Punk wins, as we thought. Good match, great, no, but great because all the other matches sucked. I thought if they would have had a better match, I gave it like a B, not an A, which I thought it would be. But nonetheless, they can also go right person won, Punk won clean. But they did have. Okay, well, let me hear. But they did do exactly what Roman and Solo did. We are all AEW, where it was like finisher, kick out, 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 finisher, kick out. Everything they did, it was just kick outs. What did you think? So you think the wrong person won? Let's hear it.
I don't know if the wrong person won. What happens from here? Right, like that's the thing. Like Drew McIntyre won the first of the trilogy with CM Punk, and then so we knew we were going to get rematches. Seth Rollins, I don't know. I was hoping that Seth Rollins would like turn at the end of the match or something, or that the match would end in a no contest or something like that, and then Seth Rollins snaps and he just loses it, and and then we get a heel turn. Teasing us for next week, getting us something excited about for next week. Oh, I got to see what happens next week because the match didn't end the way Seth Rollins wanted it to end, and it ended in a no contest instead. And no matter what he did, he couldn't hold CM Punk down. And or controversial finish where both of them get pinned at the same time somehow. Or so who's the winner? We'll find out next week. I was hoping for something like that, like a cliffhanger ending to get me to want to watch next week. So I'm not mad that CM Punk won, but I'm just like, they could have done some other things to, again, get me to tune in for next week. Turn Seth Rollins heel, have a controversial finish, do something to make me go, you know what? Okay, I'll check out next week's episode.
Yeah,
because again, that's who this episode was catered for, right? It was the casual fan to reintroduce them to the product, and I think doing something like that could have maybe gotten them hooked for next week as well.
This is definitely a best of three. But Punk's going to finish it, so he had to win the first. So Seth won't win the second. But here we go. You, next week, your balls will get tickled. You'll get that tease. Don't worry. Either next week or leading into the following Monday. So 2 weeks from now. Yeah. But this was 100% leading to Seth's craziness. Did I lisp? Seth's craziness. Seth. Yeah, I did. Seth.
Like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I did, huh? And this is going... Nothing wrong with the list, ladies and gentlemen. But this is going into Seth Rollins teaming up with this confirmed it. We had the Drew McIntyre, watch your back. Kevin Owens help Solo. Seth lost. This is everything we want, dude. This was perfect for Seth Rollins to team up with them. He's going to lose his mind. Drew's going to say, hey, Punk team up with the Bloodline. We hate him. You should hate him. Let's do it. This is the build. I think Seth's going to join. And we're going to move forward with the storyline. So I think it is good stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm in full agreement. I do
right.
think that's
so
happening.
They did lose for. Yeah, I think this is. And then Seth will figure out how to get that win back, and then the good guys always prevail. But yeah, I think this is. I think that's what we led to. I think that's why.
I still just crazy. Maybe yeah. So I just hope I hope it is a best of three. It sounded like afterwards Punk is moving on to the Rumble, and he's 46 is just a number. You know what else is a number? 1 through 30. That's also a number. So I'm calling you out, Cody Rhodes. I'm calling you out, Gunther. I mean, that was his whole promo at the end of the show. So I'm curious to see what they do. But I do want Seth Rollins, Cody, and KO and Drew McIntyre to be like a little. Maybe not a faction, but some sort of like alliance of some sort to partner up and take out anybody that crosses their path. So I'm all for it. I just wish that they would have done it on the first episode of Raw on Netflix, again, to get you to want to watch next week.
Yeah, but this episode was for your wife, so it's just for
that's
me.
true.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I can't believe we went over. I didn't think we were going to talk about Netflix for so long. Now we're over. We got to go. All right. NXT, you ready? Let's get into it. We got some stuff to go through. Plus, we got segments. All right. NXT New Year's Evil. We're just going to talk about two quick things. But one, Obafemi and Julia are your new world champions. So that's 3 for 3 of all the women's titles in WWE, changing in a matter of
3 days. Yeah.
3 days. Yes. And Trick Williams was pinned by Obafemi. So Eddie Thorpe will probably get the first up with Obafemi. Great moment, but it was ruined by someone, in my opinion. We'll get into that. But what do you think? Obafemi, Julia, good thing. Roxanne deserved better. Trick deserved better. Or are they just going to Raw and SmackDown? And so it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I like that Obafemi won the title, and I'm happy for him, and it was the right decision. I still wish that it would have happened on a bigger PLE. I wish that maybe it would have happened a Stand and Deliver or Vengeance Day, which is coming up. You know, maybe he loses this one because of Eddie Thorpe, so he gets the rematch with Trick Williams one-on-one somehow on a bigger stage, and because I feel like he deserves it, and I also feel like Julia deserves it. The same thing. So, you know, I'm not mad that either one of them won. I just wish that it would have happened on a bigger stage, and it was like. And I know you're going to get into it, but it didn't feel like a big deal that Obafemi won the title. It felt like, hey, he's the champion. Okay, we'll be back. And when we come back, The Rock will be here. And that was it. We kind of moved on, and that was a little disappointing. So I think that I wish we would have gotten it on a bigger stage, or main event the show with it.
You had your two biggest championship titles lose, and they both were changed. One opened the show, one should have closed, but one did not close the show. And yes, they did get the props in the middle, but no, that should have been Obafemi deserved better. And so what happened is what we're talking about is that they cut it off for 6.5 minutes so The Rock can come out. The Rock met up with his daughter, the lovely Ava, who was at the Golden Globes, if you didn't notice, and she was looking good. My daughter was like, who's that girl with The Rock? I said, oh, that's his daughter, Ava. She's in WWE. She's the thing. She's like, she's gorgeous. And I'm like, she is. And I'm so glad she was at the Golden Globes. But there's one thing she's not gorgeous at, and that's being a GM. She stumbled through her words so bad that when she told The Rock what he needed to do, she didn't even say it. She stumbled it. The Rock said it. She was like, you should have, and The Rock's like, I should go out there and like hype up the crowd. Yeah, and you should, I have no idea what I'm talking about, right? And she's like, yeah, The Rock literally admitted, I don't know why I'm here. There's no point for me to be here. And I have no idea what I'm going to say. But yet he got to speak and have the main event slot over Oba freaking Femi beating Trick Williams, who might be one of the greatest NXT champions. Maybe people think he is the best. I will always go with Ciampa. But people think he is the greatest NXT champion ever.
Yeah.
You had Obafemi defeat that guy to not even get that proper send-off. Huge miss by HBK. Once again, who tuned in for The Rock on NXT? Nobody. It was stupid. And then The Rock literally said nothing. And when I say nothing, he didn't even praise Netflix. He said nothing. The only thing he did was say, all of you that think that I'm friends with Cody need to realize that I'm playing chess, bro. The final boss is going to win. I was just playing chess. No, this is the one thing. The same thing happened with the whole WrestleMania debacle. No, you don't get to make an effed up decision and then call us stupid. That's not fair. Let it cook is MJF and Jeff Jarrett right now. That's let it cook. Like, oh, why is MJF with double J? I don't really like it. Let it cook. We'll get there. Not letting it cook is not an awful, stupid, pointless segment like The Rock being Dwayne Johnson for no reason, and then you saying, you fans you got to let things, no, that was not a buildup. That was you guys doing something stupid, the fans getting mad, and now you're trying to stay face. Stop treating us like we're idiots. We're not all, I watch WWE. That's not who we are anymore. So don't treat us like such. I thought I thought The Rock, and I'm a huge Rock fan, bro. I thought this was insulting to The Rock. I thought this was the worst week of his professional wrestling life. And don't get it twisted, homie. Before all this happened, he was at the Golden Globes 2 days before his Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and he got called out by Vin Diesel. Dude had a bad week. So if you don't remember, Vin Diesel came out and The Rock was sitting front row. And he was like, hey, Dwayne, when they have beef, called him out, and The Rock had to sit there like a bitch and pretend like, good one. And like, yeah, no, bad week for The Rock. I thought this was a disgusting display to take away from Oba and Julia, to have The Rock come out and embarrass himself. Don't treat us stupid, Triple H. I'm sick of Triple H treating us like we're stupid. Don't tell me let it go. Stop.
No,
stop.
Yeah,
stop.
This was worse to me than when The Rock wrote the promo notes on his wrists and John Cena called him out for that. This was not a good week, and I love The Rock. He's my all-time favorite, and
I love him.
We owe him a huge debt of gratitude for changing everything about the road to WrestleMania this past year and becoming the final boss, and how great that gimmick was and fantastic. And we all wanted it to continue. And now we all want Roman versus Rock, surprisingly. Before we didn't want it last year because the championship was involved. But this was not it. And the fact that he admitted, not only did he admit that he didn't know what he was going to say, he said, I talked to Nick Khan and Triple H a few weeks ago. So he's had weeks to prepare what he was going to say. And then he was like, but then I came out here and I don't know what to say. And it's like, yeah, we can tell. And then, and then the best part about it, and I know you watch yours on demand, but mine, like he was telling the guy to kick rocks or to F off for saying like, we have 2.5 minutes left. Like he was calling out the producer guy, which I don't like when they do that either. But he was like, you don't tell The Rock that we have 2 minutes left. But the best part about it was on my feed here in North Carolina, as soon as The Rock was like, if you smell what The Rock is, right before he said cooking, we got breaking news out of North Carolina. They cut him off. We have an Arctic vortex coming this weekend. What this means for the Triangle. Next, it's your late local news. You know, and it was like they just completely cut The Rock off right at the perfect time. They put the credits on the screen. Is breaking news out of it was just. Yeah, they cut him off, and
so stupid.
It was deserved.
Yeah. Oh, he should have been off way. So like you said, we are huge fans of The Rock on this show. I love The Rock. I would love to meet him. I think he's a great dude. I think it's a bad rap for everyone saying how much they hate him, but this was not a week for him. We all have bad weeks, but huge miss. Obafemi Julia, congratulations from two dudes.
Absolutely.
We love you guys. And
Trick and Roxanne.
And 100%.
Yeah, you guys are going to be stars wherever you go. If you stay in NXT, great. You go to the main roster, even better. But thank you for the 270-day reign for Roxanne Perez, what she did with that women's title. Completely elevated it. So fantastic reign for her. And Trick, 2-time NXT champ, well-deserved for everything he did.
I agree. And Roxanne, if you're sad, DM my @_wrestling_opinion. Hit me up, girl. I'll cheer you up. All right. That was our weekend review. So we love SmackDown. Didn't really like Netflix and NXT, but next week it should be good. Back on track a little bit. Now, it is New Year's that just happened. Hopefully you all celebrated safely. So we are going to give 2 things that we want. I say you give your 2, I'll give my 2. New Year's resolutions that we really, really want from WWE. We are hoping. What do you got, Mr. Ryan Enjoys Wrestling? What are you enjoying or want to enjoy in 2025?
I want to enjoy tag team wrestling again. And I think that's WWE's weakest division right now. You know, they introduced the War Raiders on Raw to crickets, and they didn't have their titles. Nobody had their championships. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. But they introduced the War Raiders to crickets, and then I don't know what's going on the SmackDown tag division with DIY and DIY is the tag champs, but the not private party, but what's the Elton Prince and his group? Pretty Deadly. Yeah, they're the ones that are like, oh yeah, Los Garzos attacked the Street Profits, and so now they're in all of its strange stuff. And I want to enjoy tag team wrestling again. I feel like tag team wrestling has just fallen off a cliff, not just in WWE, but AEW as well, and all across professional wrestling. And I want to be able to enjoy it again. I want it to be fun again. And right now it just feels not good. And it's just not good right now. And I think the New Day can really freshen it up by adding a spark to it. But they're not going to put the titles on them, it feels like. And right now, I'm kind of worried about the New Day too, because their gimmick is getting booed out of the building everywhere they go. And I'm kind of worried that we're going to lose a little bit of steam with the New Day when they finally do start wrestling and having feuds and everything like that. So I want to be able to enjoy tag team wrestling again in the year 2025.
All right. What's the other thing you want to enjoy? Let's hear it.
Protect finishers. I am so sick.
I made a TikTok about that a long time ago.
I am so tired. Like this episode of Raw on Netflix just really like CM, like you were doing the finisher kick out song, which I'm going to make that a video, but finisher kick out, finisher kick out, finisher kick out, finisher kick out.
Did you see I did finisher. Because remember, there was a couple of times where they kicked out multiple.
Oh, yeah. And then, Kevin Owens kicking out, or Roman Reigns kicking out of a stunner. Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns kicking out of a Samoan spike, and Solo kicking out of a spear and a Superman. It's just, it's too much. Liv Morgan kicked out of some stuff, and Rhea Ripley was kicking. Finishers need to finish the match. We talk about finishing the story in 2024. Let's finish the match with finishers in 2025. They need to be the end of the match. That's why they're called finishers. So you can have a signature move that maybe they kick out of, but use your finisher to finish them. So I want finishers to be more protected in 2025. But if the Raw on Netflix is any indication, I'm not going to get that this year.
Well said. I love it. I also had tag teams, so good thing I wrote down a few. But yes, good job. Love it. My New Year's resolution, they're a little bit different. Number one, I want Bianca Belair as a heel. I want her as a heel, and I want her to team up with her man. She could team up with both of them, but nonetheless, I want her to be a heel. Looks like her man and Angela Dawkins are turning heel anyway. They look a little bit
might
more
as well
dedicated.
turn them together.
But I want Bianca Belair. She better be the person who betrayed Jade Cargill. I really don't want it to be Naomi. I want it to be Bianca. She needs it. She's so talented, but she is boring and stale. And I know she's the female John Cena, but I don't think she can survive like John Cena did. I don't think she's on that level. So I would like to see her turn a heel and get a little, she can go back to a babyface after that, but heel, I want to see it. My other one, I want Trick Williams to go to SmackDown. Not Raw. I want him on SmackDown. I think he would be a great flavor on SmackDown. I think he would be great to feud with a Cody Rhodes. I do think they're going to switch Cody and Gunther, so it would be better if him and Gunther feud. I just think Trick Williams is that dude. And also, isn't Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown? Yes, sir. So I want to see them feud again, or I want to see them team up again. But I think Trick to SmackDown needs to happen now. If you want to give him a rematch, sure, but I think it's inevitable to go to the big show. I don't want him on Raw. I think he'll get lost. I want him on SmackDown. SmackDown needs stars. Trick's that star. Those are my two WWE New Year's resolutions.
And I like that. And if you reunite the Trick Mello gang, that can add some depth to the tag team division, which would make me enjoy tag team wrestling again. So, two birds, one stone right there. So I like that. So, Trick is a star, and so let's capitalize off of his star power.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, that's our New Year's resolutions, WWE. As we end every episode, we gotta go quick. We got our LVDs and MVDs of the week. We always start off with our least valuable dude or dudette. I'm assuming we have the same person.
I think so.
Maybe we don't, but who do you got, Ryan? Who's your least valuable dude or dudette?
It is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This was not his week.
Right.
This was not the week of The Rock, from getting called out at the Golden Globes to the promo from both promos from hell that absolutely did nothing on Raw and NXT. On an episode we were all excited about. They've been talking about the Raw on Netflix since WrestleMania last year. People were saying like, let's have Rock versus when Rock came out and took Cody's spot. They were like, let's have Rock versus Roman at Mania, and then Cody can finish the story at Raw on Netflix. And people were saying that all across the board. So this was like a big event. It's supposed to be like a WrestleMania feel. And that's the episode they gave us. And The Rock just completely killed all kayfabe and all the storyline and everything by dapping up Cody. And then his NXT promo was god-awful as well. It was just not a good week for Dewey. So all done. And Moana 2 is not very good. So Rock is LVD.
Awful.
Yeah.
LVD. Good call. I also wanted Dom to be Gunther at Raw's Netflix. All right. I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna one up you.
Neither
because,
one, or I guess Dom was on the show. But
yeah, he was. I'm gonna one up you because he still at least got cheered. I'm gonna go. My least valuable dude is Hulk Hogan. I think he truly thought he was gonna get a pop, and he came out. There was not even a smidge of cheering.
No.
He got booed as soon as and he couldn't even rip his shirt off. And then he had to like keep tearing. It was a joke. They booed like I said, he was so bad that they booed the Macho Man. I've never heard the Macho Man booed since he was alive and as a heel. It was disgraceful. My least valuable dude is Hulk freaking Hogan. I don't think he'll ever be back.
He better not.
I think it was that bad.
We don't like him.
He'll ever be back. No,
the only one. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the only one cheering in the building was Pat McAfee when he first came out, and he was going like over the top, like, "Oh my God, it's Hulk Hogan! You never know who's gonna show up," and like he's like going crazy. He didn't say a word when Hulk Hogan got booed. They were just like, "Okay, and next up we have the main event." So he toned it down a notch. So Hulk Hogan. We don't need to see him ever again on WWE TV. We don't like him. We don't like him.
No. Like I said, I'm not taking away what he did and what he's brought, but we're done. Move on. And I'm not surprised Pat McAfee cheered him. And Pat McAfee's also the only person in the world who likes Aaron Rodgers. If you want to see how bad of a human being Aaron Rodgers is, watch his Netflix documentary. It's disgusting. Yeah, all right. Most valuable dude or dudette. Who you got? We should have the same person on this too, but let's see. Who is it? Maybe we won't.
Pull up my list here, but I'm going CM Punk.
All right, we're different, but that's a good one.
He won clean on Seth freaking Rollins. He had the best match on the Raw on Netflix. It was a fantastic match, and he's 46 years old, and every time he wrestles, I don't know about you, but I cringe a little bit because I'm worried he's going to break a bone or he's going to get hurt or something's going to happen because he is fragile, and he's he got hurt at the Rumble last year. He got injured multiple times in AEW. So I am worried about him getting hurt. But
he's on the streak right now.
Yeah, his stuff with Drew McIntyre was great. He had that fantastic Hell in a Cell, and then the fantastic stuff with Seth Rollins this past Monday. It was a fantastic match, and he won clean. And I'm curious to see where he goes next. But CM Punk is my MVD of the week.
Phenomenal. And I know that he's missed a step in his promos, although he had a great one with Seth not that long ago.
Yeah, that one was great.
But he hasn't missed a beat in the ring. I don't think he's much different. I mean, he was never like a flippity doodle wrestler. He looks exactly the same in the ring. Yeah. He looks good. He looks strong. I like it. I agree. Good pick. I had to go with when there's a cash in, I got to pick it. Tiffany Stratton. She was and like I said, she got the biggest pop at Netflix. Her and Macaulay Culkin were the two biggest pops, I think. And it's only because Macaulay Culkin, bro, I'll pop if you know what I mean. But Macaulay, like Tiffany Stratton, phenomenal, great win. The way she did it, the pop she got, she deserves the title. I mean, I remember when she won the NXT championship. I'm okay. I always eat crow. I'm good with that. I said, Bafemi, I didn't dig him. And then I started falling in love with him. Same thing with Tiffany Stratton. I was like, oh my God, we're doing like the Mandy Rose experiment, right? Even though I love Mandy and she was talented, I was like, oh, let's just pick a cute girl and give her the belt. But she was phenomenal, had one of the best NXT championship runs ever. Great match when she lost it to Becky Lynch, I believe. And now she's going to be the champion and she's going to do phenomenal. It was Becky Lynch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. And now she's going to do phenomenal here. I'm so proud of her. She's definitely my most valuable dude out of the week. Props to Tiffany Stratton. You deserve it, girl.
Yeah, no, that was a solid pick. I was gonna pick her, but then I was like, well, we had Rhea win the title, and then we had Julia.
Rhea don't deserve it.
Yeah, no, I know. But
Julia, yes. Obafemi, yes. There's a lot.
Yeah, it was just there were too many title changes for me. But the one thing that stood out for me was Punk. But great pick for Tiffany Stratton. Very well deserved, and hopefully she has a good long reign. So that's all I agree.
I agree. And all right. And I'm talking about eating crow. I'm going to admit it as well. I said without the recast, we would end shows. And we're 23 minutes
We did talk about 8 things that happened on
Netflix. That won't happen normally. Yeah, normally it'd only be 2 to 3. But yes. But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I think we did pretty good. I think we talked a lot, kept it in, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. No more skipping weeks. No more none of that. We are back. Two dudes. Winters and holidays are over. As always, thank you. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep tuning in. And as always, if you just want to hear my babbling, please give me some views before TikTok is dead. I'm also everywhere. So YouTube and Instagram and so on at my_wrestling_opinion. Once again, Dakota Kai, whoever else too, hit me up if y'all are sad. And with me as always is my man,
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow me on all the social platforms as well. Go hit us up on YouTube at Two Dudes with Attitudes. We're blowing up there. We're starting to get comments again and more subscribers. So keep following us and keep tuning in. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, thank you for all the love and support. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. And then whatever happens with this TikTok ban after January 19th, we'll let everyone know where you can find us. But right now, you can find us on TikTok at Two Dudes with Attitudes. I got I got my password back, so I'm back to posting regularly there. But I hope it's not too late with the ban coming up. So we'll see. But we'll have some other social platforms once everything is figured out. So just stay tuned.
Good. That Two Dudes Wolfpack. Thank you. We
Attitudes,
out.
let's go. Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding.